Brianna Ghey's brave mother praised for response to Laura Kuenssberg's cruel question. To talk about her daughter's murder, Brianna Ghey's mother and Laura Kuenssberg made an appearance on Sunday. Watchers of Sunday with Laura Kuenssberg on the BBC have applauded Brianna Ghey's mother Esther for her commendable reaction to what some consider to be a cruel question posed by the broadcaster. She was on the show to talk about the murder of her daughter and a bill she is pushing for that would prohibit minors under the age of 16 from using their phones to access the internet. As the interview was coming to an end, Laura questioned, "You also mentioned in your court testimony that you felt you have failed Brianna by not being able to protect her. But Esther, you talk with such strength and conviction that no one listening to you now could possibly think for a moment that you let her down. Why did you have those feelings?" With a very emotional response, the bereaved mother said, "I believe that as a parent, above all else, I'm all that Brianna had. It was my responsibility to take care of them. And it has already been mentioned that she struggled and had problems. Being a parent and going through it with her was tough. And you can always look back and wish that you had taken a different course of action, in my opinion. And maybe this wouldn't have happened if I had acted differently." Some viewers took issue with the interview's tone on X, which was once known as Twitter. "What a cruel question," Laura Kuenssberg to ask Esther J., Brianna's mother. "Why do you feel you failed your daughter?" said a user with the username at Tom____Scott. It received the agonized reaction from this noble woman that it was intended to generate. In writing at Misha Wills concurred, saying, "I thought this question entirely inappropriate." The chat writer, at Shamwez, was not impressed either. "It seems very unfair to me that #Laura Kuenssberg is asking the mother of #Brianna Ghey probing questions while she is still grieving. It simply sounds so incredibly callous. It is blatantly evident, I would have thought, to ask someone how they feel about the verdict of someone who killed your child." Sick. But at Just Salian too thought the interview was poignant and had nothing but kind things to say about Esther. At BBC Breaking, "What a courageous woman. It is Brianna's mother." This morning's conversation with Laura Kuenssberg was incredibly touching. In her comment, at Jeanette_Fago expressed her respect for Esther by saying, "Watching Laura Kuenssberg. The mother of Brianna Ghey is an extraordinary person." Laura Kuenssberg and the BBC have been approached by Express.co.uk for comments. It was discovered that the stabbing of 16-year-old Brianna on February 11, 2023, in Colcheth Linear Park in Warrington, was a planned and frenzied act. After an anonymity restriction was withdrawn on Friday, February 2, her killers, Scarlett Jenkinson and Eddie Ratcliffe, were given life sentences in prison. At the time of the murder, the two killers were only 15 years old. They received sentences of at least 22 years and 20 years, respectively, and showed no emotion while receiving their sentences. During the interview with Kuenssberg, Esther expressed that she did not hold Scarlett Jenkinson's mother responsible for the events that transpired. "If she ever wants to speak to me, I'm here," she added.